Hi, I'm Ed Towner, Enterprise Account Manager at Freshworks in the UK.
Hi, I'm Paul Roots. I'm the Business Operations Manager for Manchester Football Association.
Today we're going to be finding out about Manchester Football Association's customer experience journey and why they've adapted to an increasingly challenging business environment to deliver some amazing things within customer experience. So who are Manchester FA or Manchester Football Association and what do you do?
No problem. So Manchester Football Association is one of 51 county FAs that are here to develop, support and govern grassroots football across the country. Manchester FA, we have a team of 17 agents that usually are based in the office, but of course now we're either based at home or have been put on the government pension scheme. We're a non-for-profit organisation and we're primarily a service delivery entity, but the products and services that we do offer, such as coaching courses, referee courses, membership offers, they're all there for the benefit of football's participants.
It's amazing, really. I've pulled some statistics from your website and it said that you look after over 30,000 players across 2,200 teams. It's a big old operation.
Yes, it's a massive operation. It comes with its challenges, but football being the kind of entity that it is, it's an odd industry because everybody that's involved is obviously very emotionally attached to it as well, which is something you don't necessarily get with a lot of products and services that are out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I mean, speaking of products, what Freshworks products do you use at the Manchester FA and how many agents and what departments do they sit in?
So we currently use the Fresh Test ticketing system and I believe we're subscribed to the Forest Plan for a bit of inside information for you there. All of our agents also use the Fresh Test mobile app on their work devices as well. As I've previously said, we have 17 agents across the whole team, so we're quite a small organisation. The team is primarily split between football services, which would cover departments such as membership, discipline, safeguarding, marketing and communications. We also have a football development team and they focus on specific areas. That might be the women and girls game, that might be referee development, disability football. So the organisation's kind of split over those two arms with a small management team that sits above it. We use the Fresh Desk ticketing system, as I say, for all inbound external customer queries. We also run our social media channels through it as well, so we can deal with any direct messages through Facebook and Twitter. As well as all of that, we also use the knowledge base that comes with the system and have that embedded into our homepage on our website as a bit of a support portal and use features such as the integrated widget so that people can basically log in and try and chat to us as promptly as possible.
So we're going to ask you if we can remember this far back to rewind the clock to pre-lockdown. How were you using Fresh Desk 6 or 7 weeks ago?
So since onboarding with the system in 2017, we've used the system primarily for what we call our generic inboxes. So because we have very specific areas across the business, we'll have an inbox for things like competitions, an inbox for discipline, an inbox for whole game support, things like that. And we've primarily used the system just for those areas. What's happened obviously since then is we've begun to use the system for more things that we had done previously. So as well as just those generic inboxes, we've begun to use the system for all emails, so all external inbound emails. We still use other systems for communications across team. However, any customer that wants to talk to us will now come through the Fresh Desk system. That's enabled us to collaborate as a team far better, and obviously with the challenges that we've got, we have a number of members of our team that have now been placed on the government retention, so the job retention scheme. So it's enabled us to continue dealing with their queries whilst they haven't been in the office.
So that was going to be my next question in terms of how has this changed as of today? Apart from sort of what you just mentioned there, is there anything else in terms of sort of how you use the product that might be different?
So as I say, prior to the lockdown measures, we primarily used it for the generic inboxes, but now we're using it for all inboxes. It's enabled us to continue dealing with customer queries, even with a reduced resource. We've also used some of the features, I suppose, more readily, such as proactive outreach. There's a good piece of customer service work, which I'm sure we'll come on to shortly. But we've used some of the additional features in the system that we hadn't used before. Automation is obviously a massive part of the ticketing system, but we've used parts of the ticketing system, such as automatic responses, but bringing those queries into different groups and changing the priorities. More so, we've created kind of separate support groups during the lockdown which have ultimately helped us deal with our customer queries a little bit quicker than usual.
All of this we're discussing now is about customer experience. What do you think that you've learned about your customers?
So what we've learned from our customers is, although football's not happening at the moment, our customers need us now more than ever. Football as a sector has had some pretty huge decisions to make, as other areas have, of course, since lockdown measures started. And one of them is how do we finish the current football season, and how do we begin to make plans for the future football seasons. A lot of decisions have been communicated nationally by the Football Association. But then it's obviously us as one of the 51 county FAs that need to really be here to support our customers. So although football's not being played, you'd kind of assume that we'd be quite quiet. But it's not the case at all. What we're actually finding is that our clubs, our players, our club officials, league officials, what they're now doing is they're focusing on things that maybe they don't usually have the time to. So a lot of administrative work, a lot of tidying up behind the scenes. But for that, what our customers need is us and our guidance. What we've been able to do using the system is focus on these areas, but also making a few of these adapted changes. We've made sure that our service delivery hasn't dropped. Basically, what we're learning is that our customers have shown that they need prompt support now more than ever, and Freshdesk is massively supporting that.
And so, sort of looking at the bigger picture here, what are your top tips for organisations who are responding to this challenge at the moment?
So, during difficult times like this, what I would say is technology in the right places can be your friend. But my advice overall would be for a business to stick to their core principles. So for us, our customers are at the heart of everything we do. And our customers have taught us, now more than ever, the timely responses to their needs, as well as being contactable when they need us most, is what's important to them. So typically our opening hours are 8 till 8, Monday to Friday, 9 till 2 on a Saturday. We're the only county FA to be open on a Saturday. But what the system is allowing us to do is to almost offer 24-hour support. So my kind of top tip for an organisation would be to listen to your customers' needs. A lot of the queries that we're receiving, because of the uncertainty certainly around football, we don't actually know the answer to, but it's okay that we don't know that, as long as we're working with our clubs to reassure them that as soon as those answers are known, we will obviously share them with them.
We've covered what Manchester FA do and sort of how you're dealing with and adapting to this situation. I'd like to bring it back to the teams, or the agents as we would call them at Freshworks. What's the feedback been like about Freshdesk, and how's the product been used to meet the ever-changing needs of those teams?
So I think, hand on heart, when you introduce new technology to any team, there's initial fear. I think that's completely natural. And I would challenge any organisation that doesn't have that. But I think after that, as I say, we've been using the system since 2017. We were part of the original pilot with the Football Association, and we were one of the first to come on board full time. And over those years, although our team has changed, our work ethic hasn't, and our drive for customer excellence hasn't either. Over the years, what the team have seen is the massive benefits that the system does offer. And I don't think there is any better way of teaching people about a system other than letting them get hands-on and see the benefits for themselves. It's obviously improved efficiency. It's improved collaboration massively by being able to share notes on tickets or emails, and have discussions within the system that are massively prevalent at the moment, where face-to-face meetings are far more difficult. It's supported us with knowledge sharing for the use of things like canned responses and suggested solutions within our knowledge base. But a huge benefit that we've never been able to track before is obviously customer satisfaction levels. We're currently working towards the government customer service excellence standard, and we're using Freshdesk massively to support us with that endeavour. Kind of goes without saying as well, the added excitement of some of the leaderboards that you can introduce with your team to support colleague recognition helps, because we frequently celebrate the work being completed using the system, and that kind of adds that extra level of excitement across the team.
It's the only active league table at the moment, isn't it?
It is. It's the only one we're not worried about how to finish.
So speaking of that customer excellence, have you got a favourite example of some amazing customer experience from your team?
Yeah, so one of the kind of bits that we focused on, certainly once lockdown started. A challenge that every county FA is obviously facing is how do we remain relevant to our customer base during a time that no actual football is being played. It's fine for the club secretaries, it's fine for the league secretaries and many of the officials because they'll have work to do, so we're still in contact, but for the players that only usually turn up on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning, we would very quickly disappear into the background. One of the areas of the game that we were particularly kind of interested in was focusing on our customer base that maybe sit within the vulnerable categories. Football has an older workforce, and our concerns with lockdown measures that many people will worry about on a personal level is, individuals becoming more lonely because they can't see friends or family as frequently as they used to. So what we've been able to do is we've used the Fresh Desk system to export our customer bases. We've kind of split them down into certain categories, and then we've used proactive outreaches to reach out to those customers, basically with no plans to sell them anything or no plans to get anything from them, but just to talk to them and just to talk about football, because there's one thing that all of our customers have in common is their love for football, which makes it very easy to have kind of open, genuine conversation with them about things that they're interested in.
That's lovely, actually. And final question from me, really. It sounds like Manchester FA have come a long way, but what's next? What's next in your customer experience journey? And are there any areas of technology that you see as particularly exciting within this area?
Yeah, so I think since onboarding to the system, our growth with Fresh Desk and Freshworks products has been entirely organic. We've just kind of found our own way and then, jumped onto new products and new ideas as and when suggested, but also when our customers kind of show us a need for them. Big focus at the moment is to use the knowledge base more proactively to get customers to log into the knowledge base so they can review any outstanding queries that they have with us. But I suppose it would be wrong for me to not say that the big area that really excites us is using the service Fresh Chat. I've already said, we're open 8 to 8 Monday to Friday, 9 till 2 on a Saturday. But what the system has shown us is that a lot of our queries actually come in at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, believe it or not. And without changing our opening hours, a big focus of ours is how do we get 24-hour support 365 days a year for our customers? And the obvious answer to that is by using a system like Fresh Chat and then using a bot to answer queries during closed hours, and then they can speak to agents during opening hours. So that's the kind of next big thing for Manchester FA. And, we pride ourselves, as I've said before, in service excellence, and we want to be first to be using live chat, certainly within the FA and County FA network.
Fantastic. Well, Paul, look, it's been really interesting, really insightful. Appreciate your time today.
No problem. Good to speak to you, Ed.